It's hard to understand the way that you went out. I bet you're living with a little hint of doubt. Maybe next time when you gotta show your hand, you won't cut and run, you'll finally make a stand. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Existential questions always get you down. All you want to know is are we lost or found? Is there something that you feel you need to chase? I bet you thought you put me in my place. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. You can run, you can hide, but inside, I'm finally getting to you. Yes, it's true. I still love you, but I am getting to you.
Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5,
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1. Mark.
Welcome back to the Resupply with me, Guy Next Door.
Me, DK. Holy shit, we're live.
And me, Van.
Bringing you your semi-regular double tap of all things Space Marines and Laser Force. Hello, gentlemen. It's very nice to see you. It's been a couple of weeks. I feel very disjointed after Nats. I feel like I think I've only done one podcast since Nats, which is irritating. It's a little bit irritating, but that's okay. How are you guys? You good? Is everyone feeling good?
I mean, good is such a relative term. So much work stuff, so much real life finance stuff. Just
Meh.
with a side order of meh.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of our lower energy podcasts for a little while, but that's okay. That's okay.
I don't
Sometimes
know. I don't
bring it
know.
down.
I might be able to get worked up here if you have me go off on another tangent about how much I hate people who dump their dogs
Yeah.
on the side of the road. Fucking assholes.
Fucking assholes.
To be fair, I don't have. So backstory on that is we rescued a stray dog today that was down by the bike trail, and they are now safely housed at a local humane shelter.
Nice.
But yeah, seeing the puppers who are in distress, it makes me upset, and it makes me very mad at people because people are shit.
People can be shit. Not Evo though. Thank you very much for your sub, Evo. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thanks, Eagle.
Oh, and Than?
Thanks for being less shit than whoever left this poor dog alone.
They're eating the cats and dogs. Who's eating the cats and dogs? Oh, yeah, that shows my my lack of being plugged into most things at the moment.
Well, and like honestly, like that's why that type of thing like bothers me so much, is because it does like attempt to weaponize people's compassion by being like, oh yes, this thing that you're super attached about. Well, these people, insert people who are unfamiliar to you over here, are going to try to take it from you, and just like, don't be a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like, especially when it's like, what's your source on this? Oh, Karen from next door said that there was a man who was walking down the street very non-whitely, and I was very afraid.
That was me. Very non-whitely. We're not.
But he looked like he could pass for white, so I wasn't as afraid.
He was definitely white adjacent. We've gone very political right off the bat here. I love it.
It shouldn't even be political. Just like, don't be an asshole. Like, I feel like that shouldn't be a political statement.
Well,
but
my
it's funny,
stance
so I
on
guess
it.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is where we are. And
No, that's where you guys are. We're all right down here.
You guys have your own set of challenges.
Yeah, we do. Mostly methamphetamine. But you know, it is what it is. Wow, we've cool. Talked about animal harm, methamphetamine, racism. We're off to a great start today. This is gonna be a great show.
I saw a great sign from a Florida dentist's office that said, if you've done methamphetamine in the last 12 hours, you need to tell us because dental anesthetic will kill you. Like, that's a very Florida sign right there.
They're putting Florida
Wow.
in the water. Yeah. Goodness me. I welcome to the resupply. It's not going to get any much. It's better than that. It's all downhill from here.
We're gonna get so demonetized right now.
Just a real quick pivot. Happy birthday to our wonderful co-host Fireball DK.
Lordy, look who's 40.
Was it your 40th?
It was my 40th.
Ooh.
Yeah, our Nats team group chat, I was able to put in, finally there's somebody else in this team that has a 4 as the first digit in their age.
You wouldn't know it with his boyish good looks.
Hasn't aged a day over 38.
Well, according to Autumn and Grack, I apparently look younger now than I did at like the 2012 and 2013 Nats, so maybe I got some kind of vampire Benjamin Button thing going on now.
Yeah, a vampire Benjamin Button would be terrifying. Well, happy birthday to you, bro. We love having you around. You know, we love that you're here. So,
Thanks, buddy.
let's keep this train going as long as we can.
That's right.
Yeah, on your.
Can't wait to crush the over 40 division in laser tag. Although Rusty's also in it, so I'm probably still gonna get my ass beat.
Yeah, there is that.
When you turn 70, we're gonna be talking about racism and methamphetamine some more. So it's gonna be sweet.
That's
Well,
what we
at
call
least
optimism.
at least you and Than will be. I'll be long gone.
He'll be off playing disc golf, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm done with this. Laser Force. Speaking of ditching Laser Force, we had a members night here. We've been having members nights consistently in Auckland for like ages, which is cool. We had like I think 17 people on Tuesday night, 16, 17 people.
Fucking sweet.
Yeah, it was choice, and that wasn't including like normally Sneak and his son and friends come along, so none of them were there. So we were missing a couple of like regulars, but man, it was good to see so many people. It wouldn't be this podcast if we didn't put a depressing spin on it. I got real mad on the first game of Space Marines we played, and I had to go home. I left. I was like,
home?
oh yeah, I left.
Jesus.
I had to. And I don't like leaving like that. It's not a good way to be, but I could feel myself getting really angry, and real frustrated. I was afraid of saying something bad, and so I removed myself from the situation, as is I think the mature thing to do. So I didn't hear how the rest of the night went, but I was like, there's so many people here, they don't need me here. I could go and they're not going to be like, oh, now we can't play Space Marines anymore. If anything...
but we still want Steve around.
Yeah, sometimes. Not when he's like that. He could be a real asshole when he's around like that.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
But was it just one of those situations where like things weren't going the way that you thought they should be, and it just went downhill?
Yeah. Well, so to start off the night, we've got a couple of younger players that come in, and one of them pushed my gun out of the way. Now I fired up at him in the arena, and went like, you know, a little bit King Kong up in this bitch.
As you've been known to do.
As I've been known to do. 49 months. Goodness me. Bob the Builder, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Stan looking younger, just kidding.
Fuck you, Baden.
Hey, I paid
Maybe
my
it's
money.
only by comparison because I look older now.
Wow, I'm the only
just look
30
closer
something
together.
on the podcast. This podcast is gonna, I mean, it's not gonna be around when I turn 40, probably. Oh goodness. Anyway, so the first.
It's not that far off. Man. That sounds super pessimistic. I think. You've been getting all shitty at me just because you're like 2 years younger.
I was just saying I rue the day when that happens because, oh goodness. But yeah, so this kid he used his phaser. I was trying to get a reset, and he used his phaser. He walked up to me and pushed my gun out of the way, and I saw red then, and I was like, the dude is young, like.
Define young, like what age range are we
probably
talking here?
I'm gonna guess maybe 16, 17.
So young
Enough for me to go to prison if I physically react.
yeah, but you would hope like old enough to know better. Like,
Oh yeah, he shouldn't be doing that. That's
something that's something that I expect. Like, you know, if you had told me like young, like 10 or 11, then I'm like, okay, maybe, but
enough to take a hit.
16, 17.
Oh. Sorry, officer. I didn't know I couldn't do that.
We've stepped into the conversation of assault, so that's good. We're gonna check that off the list. Assaulting a minor, no less.
Best
all
defense.
downhill
I
tonight.
didn't know I couldn't do that.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like that's one thing that really irks me. Shut up! We're doing a show. That's one thing that irks me is people putting their hands on people like that. That's not okay. Never, ever, ever in a maze. So yeah, that instantly got me in a terrible mood. And then we went in, we played the Space Marines, and I was playing a commander game, and on paper my team looked stronger. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a walkover. And it was not. We got our asses whipped, which shouldn't have happened. It really shouldn't have happened, and yet it did.
Maybe pull your head out, Steve. I don't know what to say.
Oh yeah, well, so that's the thing. I was real mad. I was already pissed off. I was even more pissed off at my lack of production, my inability to run around. I felt my knees starting to give out because I haven't really been doing much exercise. Getting over this stupid back bullshit. Yeah, so I was like, I can't be here. I shouldn't be here. I've jumped the gun, so to speak. So I took myself out of the equation, and hopefully I'll be in a better mind state next week. But I think maybe being aware of it is probably going to be more beneficial, so that I can preempt some of that shit. But yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, does it suck that you bounced after one game of space? Yeah, that does. But yeah, let's take the silver lining of you did recognize that your headspace was absolute garbage in that moment, and you made sure that you did not subject other people to your garbage headspace and potentially, have some sort of massive negative
Mm.
event that might cause people to stop coming. So,
Exactly. Yeah, and
The
that's huh.
The chairs, thank you.
Slander, lies and slander. Yeah. So yeah, we left. I left and decided to not return to Laser Force that evening. But I hope that with me not being there, they had an awesome night. Because that's what I hope for everyone. I hope that like Laser Force can be a positive place for people to go and still be competitive, but like enjoy some casual laser tag. And with angry old fucks being there, just it ruins everything, ruins the day. As a side note, I don't know if I said that. Do you remember Double Rum, who used to play out of Auckland? Did I tell you?
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned that his son Scorpion
Yeah.
came back and played, and kid is now like in his mid late 20s.
I think he's like 30.
That is some bullshit.
That sounds like some bullshit.
I'm sorry. No, my image of him will forever be that
Tiny little
12
kid.
Yeah, 12, 13-year-old kid
Oh.
that would come in with his dad. And oh fuck, I guess if he was 12 or 13, he would be.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Well, remember, I was only 12 or 13 and came in all the time with my dad at one point when you met me, so.
Yeah. It's dude, it was real trippy. He turned up, we're all standing outside waiting for the evening. He turned up, he's like, "Oh hey, do you guys do they still do the members nights on the Tuesday?" I was like, "Yeah, that's why we're here." He's like, "Oh, cool. Like I'm keen to play. Like you used to play back in the day." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Yeah, I used to come with my dad and stuff." And I was like, "Wait, Scorpion?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What the fuck?" This is blowing my mind. Yeah, very, very cool. Apparently he's come back a couple of times. I haven't been, again, I've sort of been off the grid the last couple of weeks. But he's come back. He brought a couple of friends, so there's a bit of a resurgence happening in Auckland Laser Force at the moment.
That's
So
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, which is cool for the most part. Hopefully, because I think it's public knowledge.
Well, if it's not, it's about to be.
It is, because I've seen advertisements for it on Facebook, so I'm pretty sure
Okay.
that means that we're okay to talk about it here. Auckland Laser Force is up for sale. The current ownership group, and maybe we just talk about this today.
New plan.
Yeah, pivot. Yeah, the ownership team have decided to sell. I think it's mostly for personal reasons, for family reasons. So yeah, the business has gone up for sale, which is it's such a shame because we love our owners. They are amazing. They are open to trying new things. They're trying to we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, Baden. They're trying to shit. I lost my train of thought. Oh no, they're very open to helping us, develop, and grow new talent. In fact, one of the players, like Ruan, the owner's son, who's one of the owners, played
Yep.
a bunch of games, I think, on Tuesday night. So, yeah,
Awesome.
they love. I think they love the business. It's just one of those things that they need
Sometimes
to.
things happen.
Yeah, they need to sort out some family stuff. So, hopefully, new owners, whoever they turn out to be, I've put feelers out to the community to be like, "Oi, if you're interested."
Cool your pennies. Let's go, folks.
I mean,
Get it together.
for the purchase price, it works out to be what, like $80,000 US or something.
Wow. So if I had taken the voluntary severance, like, I that would have been actually been enough money.
Don't tease me, you fuck. Could you imagine?
Never gonna-
Could you
Now,
imagine
granted, that's
moving
just the
home?
purchase price. That doesn't count like
Yeah,
runway
everything.
and administrative costs. And
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
But it means that you could move home, Than. You could move home. Could you imagine moving home where your home is? Yeah, so it presents an interesting opportunity for anyone else, anyone in our community who's at the point, and I know that there are some of you who are at the point where owning your own Laser Force site, established Laser Force site, you know,
Seems awesome.
seems pretty awesome. Unfortunately, I'm
Yeah.
not in a position to do it, but I
Some
think
of you,
there's-
Rusty, who are in a position to buy the place.
I think he's in Europe at the moment.
He is.
Yeah.
But he does typically listen to these, eventually. So eventually he'll get this message where we're like, Rusty, Rusty.
I'd be lying if I didn't say that I had already reached
to
out, hadn't already reached out and talked to him about it.
I expect nothing less.
Yeah.
I mean, fair.
I think I
fair.
might have talked to Baden about it as well, but yeah, the idea of having like someone from our community take over my home site and like kind of take it to the next level, might be it's pretty awesome to think about. Hopefully we get someone cool, not someone dumb, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it'd be nice for the ownership not to take a step backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, just somebody buying it as like a
A
front.
tax write-off or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Rowan and Andre were great hosts. Like I said, when I was there, Rowan was like teaching people all the games. He
Yeah.
was like running the whole place single-handedly. And I thought it was super cool. The week after the tournament, they actually went through and they renamed all the vests after tournament players in our honor for
Yeah.
like a week's worth of time, which I thought was pretty
Oh
cool.
no, it was much longer than a week.
I didn't know how long it ran.
It
for.
was a long time because
was a while.
because there was a point where like there would be a couple of guy next doors in the arena, and my score would be okay, and some little jerk would be like, "Look, that's me!" Like, "Fuck you, stupid kid."
Oh, hey, you still get credit for it, right?
That's true. That's true.
Like, well, I don't see a shirt that says "Guy Next Door" on your back.
Yeah.
So clearly, that must be me.
Yeah, that must be me.
Don't lie and say you only scored 13,000 points.
Oh, yeah?
Loser.
Masters,
You are.
let's go. It's bittersweet. So hopefully, it leads to an opportunity for someone who's really passionate about the business coming in and taking over. But maybe I should hit Lucy up. Be like, "Oi, mate."
Oh yeah, I'm sure she's got oodles of cash. Poor student who was crashing at hostels while she was in New
Fair.
Zealand. She's definitely got the 80 grand lying around. No problem.
Lucy's daddy. I'll hit him up.
There we go. Let's all ask our parents for money while we're at it.
Funny. I can't.
Welcome to the Asking
Insensitive
Your
jerk.
Parents for Money podcast, brought to you by the Resupply and Mr. Beast.
Speaking of members nights, and Baden beat us to it here, but I'll read out what he said. We just had a 22 or 23 people in Syracuse, 2 brand new never lifted a force pack. Two brand new never lifted a force pack people. There we go. Some getting people. Detroit people was an amazing night, and games were super close and fun. We have a hope of replenishment on the east. That is
Well, good. You need it.
excellent
Get your shit
news.
Yeah, with Beans going back to the fun warehouse, like that's great for the community. So yeah, long may this continue, and may him being back there, like, let Syracuse rebuild and start getting the numbers again that we're used to seeing from them, and continue to, selfishly continue to give us a viable place to play in the East, since Detroit right now I don't think is necessarily super viable still yet.
Not yet.
Not that they're not willing to host us, but obviously people have mentioned the equipment kind of needs a revamp, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I can't go to Detroit again. I'll get arrested.
Let's
Allegedly.
keep it on your hospital bill.
Yeah, allegedly. Fuck, I can't post this web. I'll edit it later. We didn't post it.
We'll fix it in post.
fix
That's
it
what
in
we always
post.
do, right?
That's awesome news. You know, yeah, like you say, like it's another viable place for people to go and play, but it's such a shame when one of the legacy sites goes. You know, like you guys have obviously lived it. With Sacramento going.
Yeah.
I would say Chula Vista was probably another one.
I mean, they hosted an Nats.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, right? If
I know
you
they
have,
fell off after that, but it's not like we don't still have active Chula Vista players
That's right.
in our community.
Yeah,
With, Sweets, Kodama,
Snowflake.
Dill, Applesauce, Snowflake, all of those people were originally Chula players and
Yeah.
still play a fair amount. So I would consider that the loss of a legacy site for sure.
Yeah, there's of course Oakley. Oakley's gone.
Yeah.
I would say Wellington. Wellington still technically exists, but not really.
When was the last time I sent anybody to represent in a tournament, not counting Rusty or Baden?
Stallion.
2006? Oh, yeah, I guess Stallion. Yeah, that's true.
Who?
But did they really send him to represent though, or did
No.
Stallion just get his luggage together and throw it in the car and just be like, "There's a laser tag tournament, I'll play."
Yeah, I'm from Wellington. Shout out to Sanch. Does not charge us to play. Opens the doors for as long as we want. So it's huge props to that man. What a legend. Yeah, and I don't know. It could be so. I hope that it's a case where the people who play these things maybe put a little bit of money across the desk. Snacks or drinks or whatever it is, just to just as a hey, thank you for opening the doors.
Yeah.
Here's some revenue. But whatever. Yeah, that's really cool, and that's pretty timely. I would imagine that is because there's a little thing coming up. Hey, DK.
What?
It's fucking. Apparently, there's a parade outside my house today.
Sounds like it's the Harley Davidson motorcycle parade coming back.
Yeah. That my friend is called a lead-in. Just gonna let it dangle.
Good job. Good job.
Just gonna let it dangle.
Yeah, completely. It's
Stop
gonna
ignoring
let
me.
Unfortunately, we do a talk show, so just sitting here on a video doesn't really translate well to later.
I'm looking
so.
for the event details. I can't find them.
I thought you
can't
already
tell me when
had-
the segue's coming up.
So smooth.
I thought that usually you would just have
Okay,
it up
alright.
and ready to go.
Hang on, take it.
You are normally the one that is actually prepared.
Yeah.
on this
Normally when I
show.
throw to you, you're like, oh yeah, I know this shit.
It's been kind of a rough day. But I found it there.
hey, DK. I thought that from what I hear, there's an event coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I hadn't, because, I saw that there was going to be an event in Syracuse from January 12th to 16th. In Syracuse, it says, in parentheses.
Brilliant.
According to this great Facebook post by Michael Brandt, the tournament entry fee is $80 per person.
Michael Brandt.
So obviously practice would be on Sunday the 12th. Tournament games Monday through Thursday. It is going to be SM5 since we didn't really agree on a laser ball format or how many days of laser ball are going to be, which is too bad. I think in future, if someone has an idea and they want to run with it, with all due respect to the community, don't poll the community. Just say, we're gonna play 3 days of SM5 and a day of laser ball. If you don't want to play, fine. But once people are there, I feel like they would actually play. But people, they don't know what they want until they're already doing it.
Yeah.
That's why democracy doesn't work. But in any case, so it's going to be some kind of random draw there. I think we're still kind of finalizing exactly how it's going to work. But the basic idea is it's going to be a tiered pool draw. So that way the teams are going to be completely random. What it will be is that we'll organize people is looking at least 4 different pools of players. I was suggesting 6 just because that way you could have, you have 6 players per team. So just have it as 6 tiers. So when you have your list of players, divide them up into the pools. get people who are reasonably good judges of talent to get their heads together and just sort people where they're supposed to be. And I know there's a lot of consternation about, well, how are players going to be ranked? What's going to go into the system? But like, these don't need to be absolute ranks. We're not saying that any one player is necessarily like 100% better than another player in all occasions, because we all know in a home site tournament, like people who are from that site, they need to be ranked probably 1 or 2 levels higher because you play better at your home site. That's just facts. So coming up with some kind of tiered system, so that way it will be that the best players are all split up from each other. So you're not going to have a team drawn out of a hat that it's just like, oh, who do we got? All right, we got, let's
Baden,
see, Slaughtermelon,
Scythe,
Baden, Beans, Scythe. Wow, okay, we might as well just go home now. So to prevent something like that, that's why I would hope that we can do like a full 6-tier roster, but depending exactly how it works, it'll be at least like 4 different pools to choose from. So that way it's like, no one team will end up with all the newer players. No one will end up with all the experienced players. Will end up with all the home site players, et cetera, et cetera. And then it sounds like we're going to just do random positions. But some of that I think is still kind of subject to negotiation. But the basic concept of the tournament will be, it will be a random draw, but it will be kind of normalized for skill level to make sure the teams are, if not totally even strength, at least they're in the same ballpark. So there will be, like Ben was saying, some good games, good competitive games against one another. People can feel like they got their money's worth and everybody has a fair chance to win.
It's the best way to run these. Like, you want parity at these kind of tournaments.
For sure.
You know, it doesn't always work out that way at a Nats, but that's, you know, sometimes you get Brisbane at their absolute best, come in and they dominate everyone. Whatever, these things happen. Yep. But you're certainly at these where, you know, rules are a little, or at least eligibility rules aren't a thing. Having parity is what you want, and it's
Well, there's also the thing with this that, like, I was actually talking with Havoc about this the other night. For those of you without your Dakota rings at home, Havoc is a Armageddon player who has done some, you know, Force stuff over the years, but primarily is like an everything else player. And kind of every scene is still in a recovery from COVID mode. Every scene lost anchor sites, lost players because anchor sites got lost, this, that, the other. So events like this that allow for, you know, that trying to, you know, regrow scenes are super important. And part of, you know, making sure that, you know, you can grow a scene is making sure that events like this are as fun as possible, and part of the as fun as possible is having the teams as even as possible. So so this as an event that is friendly enough for non-force players to be able to join in as well, because my understanding is that there are going to be some non-force players at this tournament, or non-primary force players at this tournament,
which makes sense.
Yeah, like you want them to have the opportunity to play in things like this to, you know, get a better sense for the game, because Armageddon players, like, as kind of a generalized rule, like, Armageddon players love SM5, but they don't really get a chance to play SM5.
It takes a lot of practice to get it down, though,
in its natural environment. So something like this that gives them a chance to play some SM5 in the actual environment, it's fucking great.
Not against Nats teams as well, which is probably pretty key.
Well, like playing with Nats players, who can then like teach you some things on your team. Because honestly, like, one of the most fun tournaments I had in recent history was the one that we did. It was in like October, November of 2022, I think. It was one of the St. George events where we essentially just did like a constructed random draw set of or not random draw. It was a rotational tournament, but we did have a kind of a consensus agreements. It was technically a point draft system, but basically it was discussion of the other captains in terms of like how we wanted to organize the teams. And although one of the teams was definitely stronger than the others, it wasn't like so far beyond the other teams that the games weren't competitive. And because of the rotational aspect and having to strategize like when you were going to use your best lineups, it still produced a lot of really good fun games. And like even though I didn't win and we didn't even make finals, but it was still like a really good fun tournament just in the way that it operated, because you did have people of different abilities levels and who don't normally get to play together playing different roles and on different teams than they usually do. And I think that is also a way for people to kind of grow their talents, where you might not stagnate, but you might plateau a little bit just playing with the same people and doing kind of the same thing every week, because that's just human nature. You get into a habit, you get into a groove, and you sometimes don't think about like changing things up. It was like you guys talked about after Nats, the whole blue based downstairs defense strategy in Auckland. It's like we didn't really play that way because you hadn't really been like, there hadn't been a situation that emerged at your social nights or had like a tournament that promoted, that kind of strategic adjustment to make. And we'd also said, right, that might not be the type of thing that would work on a casual night anyway. So you don't really have a lot of chance to practice it because you kind of like Nats personnel to pull something like that off.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting to have fun little wrinkles like that, and to shoot for some of these regional tournaments. I think to have teams that are more at like a parity level, like Dan was saying. Nats is great, and I would never want to get rid of the Nats structure of these are the best teams, put together the best team that you can, and let the cream rise to the top. Which makes some lopsided games, but you know what? That's sports.
That's
sometimes.
competition.
Sometimes you gotta let the best show it off sometimes.
Yeah, I think the best outcome is to have regional tournaments. At our healthiest, I guess our scene as a whole would have, 20 sites all sending players to regional tournaments like East Coast, West Coast, Trans-Tasman, whatever it looks like, intercontinental, throughout the year, and then once a year, the best of each of those sites meets at a site and competes at a nationals, where you have the best of the best competing against each other. That's the time for that to happen.
Well, I mean, that was always kind of the original thought process around why we started doing the West Coast and East Coast tournaments. It was to try to get those extra reps in a scenario that wasn't quite as serious. Plus, let's face it, as a generalized statement, we all kind of like each other. And seeing each other only like once a year at nationals just wasn't really
enough.
Wasn't really enough time spent with such fine hobbits as yourselves.
And to be fair, I think we were kind of maybe foolishly optimistic in the initial, in thinking that, well, if Nats does kind of grow beyond a level that we can reasonably accommodate, we might have to say that, like, well,
you have to
play regionals first, and you have to like qualify at a certain level if you're regional to get the invite to Nats. But it's like, we never got that big. That was ever going to be a problem. And even on the years when we approached that, like we got to 10 teams in 2015 and then 2019. But after 2019, well, COVID hit. So that was like a hard reset on a lot of sites. And, maybe it didn't get to be that, but having these kind of maybe non-Nats type tournaments, now that we do have a community that is more than just the community that you have at your local site, that now people from a whole bunch of these other sites, it does make those kinds of bits of team formation a lot easier. And that's why I was always like puzzled by the whole mentality of like the scene is dying. It's like, well, only if you're defining it as we can't have sites sending 2 full teams that are fully rostered and constructed ahead of time to a regional tournament to play. But if you just are like, let's just get 30 people to show up and play for 3 or 4 days, we're still doing that pretty consistently. So it's like, we have no problem putting together some kind of version of tournament. It just might not be what we envisioned 10, 15 years ago when we tried to kind of relaunch the competitive scene in the States and thinking of what it would turn into. It's turned into something great, though, just maybe not what we initially envisioned.
For sure.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
It's funny how things don't always go the way that you plan.
Yeah.
as far as that goes. But yeah, I mean the fact that like in the lead up to this year's Nats, we had essentially a large extended members night event in Loveland like every quarter
Mm-hmm.
leading up to nationals.
Mm.
So with fairly ridiculous amounts of people, flying in or making the really long god awful drive from Utah.
How long is that
it's
drive?
too fucking long. It's like between
Couple
10
days.
and 10 hours, I think.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, from like St. George to Loveland.
Yeah.
Southern Utah, whether it's Cedar City or St. George, but it's a 45-minute difference. But
So that's like
yeah, it's
but
something like that. I
8
think
hours,
it's
whatever. It's
maybe the way some of them drive. I would say like 8 to 10 hours to be safe.
So what? Okay, so it's like driving the length of the North Island of New Zealand.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
not
pretty
even
much.
that long. Not even that long. Yeah, right on. Real quick, because I've just remembered that this was a thing. And we'll pivot away a little bit because we tend to fucking go all over the show. That's how my brain works. This weekend.
But you don't have ADD.
Well, I saw a doctor. That's a conversation for later.
Okay.
Saw a doctor. Turns out, maybe.
And
I mean, I feel like most people in your life, it's like by the way,
Yeah.
I found out I have ADD. It's like, yeah, no shit, we
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think those of us that have known you for an extended period of time can kind of go, yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the shock of the century. When
We all
actually
know
have this
you. We all
conversation.
love you. This is not news to us.
She
Yeah.
did one of those clipboard like, So, real quick, I'm gonna put a link in chat. If you aren't already following this channel, go give them a follow. This is the Laser Sports NZ. Essentially, it's the zone tournament scene here in New Zealand. They are running a competition this weekend. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I'll do a DK and quickly look for the details.
Let me just.
I did no prep for this because I wasn't necessarily expecting to talk about it. But yeah.
But give that channel a follow. If you're into laser tag, you'll dig it. It's the Laser Sports NZ Open, held here in Auckland. It's running Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday. So not tomorrow here. But from 6 p.m. until midnight tonight, they're having their team event. Apparently, if you're a Zone fan, that's the event to watch. The cool thing is, I got hit up by one of the guys who has been playing with us. Actually, our Zone guy Popeyes, who's
Nice.
big in the Zone tournament scene. He was like, "Hey, do you want to help? Would you be interested in doing some stuff for our stream? Off the back of seeing the stream from this year's Nats." Now, unfortunately, I wasn't really in a place over the last couple of weeks where I could dedicate some time to doing it. But one of the things he said was, "Hey, look, if you want to come do some commentary, that'd be awesome as well." And I was like, "You don't want me commentating on Zone because the whole time I'll just be like, ugh, brother, ugh."
Ew, look at that shot. So
Yeah.
ugly.
Why is he doing
dirty,
that?
dirty
Yeah.
shooting. Dirty pool.
That's the penalty. Andy's team takes a shot from the stripey thing.
Touchdown. No, but if you're like me and you're either Laser Force or nothing, it's still worth checking out because one thing that they decided very last minute was to include the suit tracking in their stream. So you can actually watch and I'm just watching it now, and maybe we'll talk more about it later. Maybe we'll get Popeyes on actually and have a yarn to him after this event's done. But
Sure.
it's so cool. It's not perfect. You see
course.
players do pass through walls and shit, but it does give you a rough idea of the paths that they're running, the people they're shooting at, the people who have shot them. So it's pretty dope. It's really, really cool. Give
Used
it.
to be only hoodlum could move through walls.
Yeah, exactly right. Stupid teleporter bullshit. But yeah, it's definitely worth checking out because the technology in its infancy looks really awesome. I would love to see this technology make its way into the Laser Force community. I doubt it, but I doubt it.
I don't know. I mean, given all the things that have randomly just shown up in software and hardware for Laser Force over the years, who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I don't think Laser Force HQ, specifically the head programmer, I don't think he was very impressed that we didn't use the new scoreboard during Nats this year.
Boo.
He's no step tracker. Pfft, don't care, not interested. Hopefully you can
Yet
build...
another trophy I was going for that I'll never get.
Well, next year you might get it. Because hopefully you can build something specifically for us.
My secret: have shorter legs.
Yeah, I shuffle. Shuffle. Steve, you could infiltrate and promote Force's upcoming tournaments if you were commentating. That's the idea. Evil geniuses is what we are. But yeah, give it a watch because it's really, really awesome. Actually, they are playing Zone, which is a shame. But it's pretty cool tech. Right. Was there anything else we want to talk about for ECT? It sounds like it's gonna be fucking awesome.
That's pretty much all the details I have so far. I am planning to attend.
Awesome.
Despite the fact that is going to be the first week of school, but I'll be working remotely and just answering emails. And if it happens during tournament time, people can fuck off.
Have you seen the guy who his whole thing is he's got a green screen with the Zoom set up, and like his whole thing is he runs his work meetings whilst doing like crazy shit. Like he went like whitewater rafting and like skydiving and like running with the bulls, I think. And he's just got this green screen set up so it looks kind of like he's in the office, but
I
obviously
support this.
That's what you should do. ECT webcasting.
Boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I play SM5 on company time.
That's awesome. All right, well, yeah, if you're in the area, or even if you're not, if you've got the means to attend, what were those dates again?
January 12th through 16th of 2025, because it's going to be 2025 in like a little over 3 months.
Shut your whore face.
That is that's some bullshit.
Yeah. I believe my wife like ran into the room the other day and was just like, Steve, so how is it like September already? Like, I don't know, man.
I know, right?
Stupid bullshit. Is there any other offensive or horrific things we want to talk about today before we, let people get back to their existence?
we had one more story from Nats.
Oh yeah, I can't believe we forgot this.
Yeah, that we wanted to tell to get your on-stream reaction for, which is why we haven't mentioned it at all, and we completely forgot to tell it a couple of weeks ago. Last time you were actually on a show.
DK killed someone.
No, but
so DK did have a moment where his entire tournament flashed in front of his eyes.
Oh no! And
it was my fault. So we're starting. So we're at red start for a game, all lined up to do the doubles and run up the ramp. It's what you do.
That's what you do.
We've only done it several thousand times in our lives.
Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna do this. It's fine. Game starts. Applesauce and I do the thing. Everybody's hit. Except for some reason, this time, instead of going through little doorway to get to the ramp, going, running straight like I normally do. My dumbass
Make more lights
decides
go boom.
that it's going to be more efficient if I do the last double while stepping backwards and go through that doorway backwards and turn to get onto the ramp.
Kincadium, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you.
Sweet. So everything is going swimmingly up until the point that I go to turn, and I have gone a little too wide, and I kick the wall and fall straight the fuck down. Like, just straight up, just thud. Like, it wasn't even a question. Just physics won. I lost. I'm on the
Old Man
ground.
fans had a fall.
Pretty much. Nolan has to jump over me because of how the timing of everything was.
Yep, not check to make sure if you're okay. Jump over you.
Out of my way, old man.
Pretty much. And of course, so I hit the ground, and immediately I'm hearing everybody going, stop the game, and so somebody's like, just get up and go. And I hear DK say, no, when you hit the ground at this age, you don't immediately get up and go. You have an inventory check that you have to make before you get up.
Yeah.
And so I'm laying there, and I'm listening to this, and first off, I'm fucking embarrassed. Like, what in the absolute fuck am I I'm so fucking stupid that I misjudge where I am, turn, kick a wall, and fall over. Are you fucking kidding me? 5,000 plus games of Space Marines, and I can't judge where a fucking wall is when I'm walking backwards to spin.
Well, it's like the practice game in Detroit in 2019 where I ran face first into a wall because I did not see it because of how dark it was. And
yeah, but that's Detroit's field being stupid. This was
Stan being stupid.
Yeah, this was me being stupid. That section of the arena is well lit enough that this should not happen. This is just me being wrong for where I think I am positionally.
To be fair, that's the most common area that people have been injured, in Loveland specifically, is off of Red Start because of how they have to take that corner. Because everybody wants to be smart and just take that corner a little bit tighter and more efficiently.
Which one is it?
You ain't doing it.
Off Red Start, you run up the ramp?
Yeah, you make a hard left, and then you go up the switchback ramp.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've... Oh, wait, did we watch that happen?
You probably did.
Yeah.
You might have had eyes on it because you would have at least seen people go up the ramp and then turn down to look at Finn, because I was basically at the intersection of where the switchback is, where you can go to either second or third, and behind me it is Hira. I turn around and I just see Dan splayed out. Like Dan said, I just saw it turn a flash from my eyes. Very sensitively, of course, I'm already going through in my head. I'm just like, fuck, who are we going to get as a sub for Dan? I don't want to have to think about this. All I can
He's
see is
definitely
upper
broken his
torso.
hip.
So I'm half expecting me to go down the ramp and see that his leg is still going to be around the corner at Red Start. Oh, that's interesting. Dan's entire leg exploded. Well, I didn't have that on my bingo card, but it's always a possibility.
I'd love if one of you could tell me who it was against on what day, so I could go back and find it. Shout out to Sergeant Tucker for getting all of the timestamps sorted in all of the footage. We might be able to go find that.
Yeah, no,
that part escapes me.
Yeah, I don't remember who we were playing or anything. I just remember impact down. Hearing people around me, and the get up, let's go, and then literally hearing DK say, no, you don't understand, he needs to check and make sure he's okay.
If he were gonna get up, he would have got up by now.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those moments of just okay, well, because the less fun part of this is because I do have a certain amount of issues with my knees and my back. That type of impact is one of those things that can 100% just completely fuck all those things up completely again. And so there was I want to say probably like about 30 seconds where I'm on the ground going, okay, do my ankles feel okay? Yeah, my ankles feel okay. All right. Do my knees feel okay? Yep, the knees feel okay. The left knee with the brace on it was not the one that I kicked the wall with, so so it's okay.
Probably
is my
good
right
thing
knee
you
feeling
kicked
okay?
it down.
Sure. Okay. Is my lower back feeling okay? Because that's also been problematic. Yep, that's okay. I finally start sitting up and realizing like everybody is kind of around me. It's like, oh god damn it, so many fucking witnesses. And at this point,
Don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up.
At this point, I'm just like, okay, let's go again. I'm done with this.
In my recollection, it wasn't against Loveland A or Cedar, I want to say, because I feel like there would have been a lot more like nervous energy that I would recall. It would be like, fuck, now we got to start this all over again. It's like normally against like those really high committed teams, like those are the games I hate restarting the most, because it's like I'll be super nervous until the game starts. Once the game starts, like the adrenaline takes over, your brain shifts to doing other stuff.
Yeah.
You don't really have time to be nervous.
Yeah.
But, like before the game, it's just like, I just start the game already.
What do you remember if it was on like at the start or the end of the tournament, or was it likely one of the middle 2 days?
I don't even remember that either.
I'm pretty sure it was during the regular round.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I want to say it was on day 1 or 2.
Yeah, okay.
Because I feel like we
So
made
Troy.
a point of asking you after that, just like, is the leg feeling okay today? Like, the day after, and it was fine.
It's the first thing I'm going to do after the show is go and try and find it.
He's going to add it to the treadmill gif, and then the one with me tripping over Hoodlum's foot in.
Push!
We'll just have
Whoa! Yeah, actually, I'll add that as our new intro. It's just a compilation of the three of us having a fall. Yeah.
Or me smashing my head into Luke's face in the Zorb.
Head injuries, the best. There was no breaking Than with his artificially enhanced knee. Yeah, he's a super soldier. Basically a super soldier now. That's correct. Look, there's so many people playing disc golf, which is both awesome and also depressing because I feel like I've gone backwards in both my ability to play Laser Force and disc golf. So I might not come to Nats next year. We'll see. Can't do it.
That's a lie, and you know it.
A lie. Although I am heavily contemplating just commentating. It's playing on my mind a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You say that now, but as I told Al, once you're there, if you hear the music, you're gonna dance.
Al's perfect. Al's definitely not gonna. Hell yeah, Odin. Let's do it. Speaking of which, exclamation LLT in chat. Go check out the recent podcast from the Loveland Laser Tag YouTube channel. I think that's what it's
called. If you
want
to watch a good podcast, go check out that leap.
That's right.
For all your other issues.
Not one of them had a fall at Nats. They may have fell down. Did not have a fall.
Old enough.
Exactly right.
You need to be over 35 to have a fall.
Yeah.
Before that, you just fall. It's not that big a deal.
There was a big brown snake on hole 3. Didn't get a photo for G&D though. Fuck that shit. It's winter. Ugh. No, don't want to do it.
Sneak was there. Oh, sorry.
No, he's white adjacent. No, bro.
It's going back up through the comments now. Being like bring winter boots because January tournaments usually cause blizzard-like weather. Yeah, that's the part I'm worried about. What makes you think I own winter boots? I live in California, dude.
What the heck is winter boots?
I'll buy some winter boots when I'm there if you want.
Hiking boots. Just bring your hiking boots. That'll be fine.
I fully admit that is the part that makes me most nervous because I definitely have visions of just being stuck at some horrible airport, whether that's like O'Hare or JFK or Dulles or wherever it ends up being.
It's fairly common at O'Hare for people to just be there at O'Hare, right?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, I got stuck in O'Hare. Well,
I'm
no.
not surprised.
Actually, we almost got stuck, but instead of that happening, I got sent to Toledo. So there you go. I got to see Toledo.
Hey, you know what would be great? Let's take this place that has the most unpredictable weather in the universe, and we'll have this be our main flight hub. Sounds like a great idea, guys. No problem.
Genius.
Definitely one of United's better decisions. Sure.
Don't worry, it's super flat, so nothing bad ever happens. Dumb.
No, the weather just never comes off the Great Lakes and says "fuck you."
Which is why we should nuke the Great Lakes.
That's right. That's right. We should definitely do that. On that note,
That one's
holy
for all my
shit.
homies on the Edmund Fitzgerald.
I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit.
That's the nuke drop right there. Great bloody nuke drop. Man, we hit all of the hot button points today. You know, don't anyone say that we aren't, current dealing with the hot button issues here on
That's
the
right.
Resupply Podcast.
Not enough people are talking about our war against the Great Lakes and why it needs to succeed.
Yeah, that's right. FA4, they've got that many divisions. That's awesome. Fucking hell. That's not what FA stands for, by the way. Side note, we're looking at like buying property and stuff. Being grown-ups and shit. And
As you
there's a house that's gone up for sale that backs onto the West Auckland disc golf course. So living the dream. Now it is in a massive floodplain, which
That seems,
All these golf courses.
seems problematic.
yeah, it's not amazing, but could be worse. Could be.
Fortunately, I had some winter boots that Steve lent me so I could walk around those disc golf courses.
I'm about a week away from presenting my disc golf course to the local Rotary Club here in Auckland to get them to pay for it. So
Nice.
that's kind of the next barrier, I guess, is to get them to fund it. But it sounds like they put on like a dinner and then you do do the presentation, and it sounds like it's going to be pretty good. So pretty soon you get this guy's. I'm going to get the sign made up. I'm just going to have my face massive on it, and then a tiny little disc golf course is here. That's what I'm thinking. I think that'll go down really well.
Like on your desk?
No, at the park. At the park. That's what the sign's
What is
going to be.
this? A disc golf course for ants?
All right, we're gonna end the show there before one of us gets cancelled. It's very nice to hang out with the two of you. I've been missing it. I need more of it in my life. Hopefully the next little while will have a little bit more stability for us all. We can sort of meet on the semi-regular and even do our weekly stuff here. I did a stream with Dan this week, which was really fun.
Nice.
Yeah, so hopefully more stuff like that coming soon. We aren't done milking the udder that is... that was just for you, Dan. Milking the udder that is Laser Force Internationals 2024 for content. We will have guests on over the next little while talking about their experiences at Nats now that things have calmed down. And then we'll cast an eye towards the upcoming tournaments, which is, as we know, East Coast tournament, which is
January 12th.
Damn, I wanted to just let it be an awkward silence. I just wanted to stare at you.
they couldn't stomach it. He's like, oh, dead air, yuck.
Because it doesn't translate in a non-video scenario, and people do listen to these things in a
Full
non-video
deer in
scenario.
headlights. Full deer in headlights.
They're just like,
Ah.
oh, did my thing die? Did the show end? Yeah, so there's that, and then obviously Brisbane for Internationals 2025 next year. So there's heaps of stuff to talk about, and we're going to talk about all of it probably over the next little while. But for this week, I've been Guy Next Door.
I've been DK.
And I've been Than.
Always remember to backtrack, kids. We will see you next week. Ka kite anō.
Spay and neuter your pets.